guys, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Randy and Pearl. So, Randy's question is, what are some of the worst punishments ever on Big Brother? I think I would have to go with the solitary confinement punishments, because not only are you like locked away from the rest of the house, but like it's degrading too, because they put like a porta potty in the room with you and you have to use that, and it's like gross, and you have to eat slop, and it's just like not a good look. But I feel like that could be coming up soon now that the have-nots are over, because they're gonna have that room. You may as well use it for something. And Pearl wants to know, have I ever eaten or tasted dog food? I have not, Pearl. By the way, guys, Pearl is a cute little baby chihuahua, so adorable. But yeah, I've never had dog food before. I can't do it. Alright, so, quick recap of last night. Meg was evicted, Liz won the HOH and nominated James and Johnny Mac, Julia won the veto, did not use it, and James was evicted. It was a total suck fest. We all know it was awful. Let's just, like, move on. Okay, so when the feeds came back on, the twins were chatting, and Liz tells Julia, you have to win the next HOH. So they're feeling like it's time to get rid of Steve. He's a bigger threat than Johnny Mac to them. They think he's going to be better at competitions. They got to cut him loose. So then they were also saying, you know, we can use Vanessa as a pawn because she put Julia up last week, so tit for tat, why not? Alright, so then Liz was packing up James's stuff. Good thing he already set most of it aside. That was good thinking. Made it a lot easier. Alright, so then Vanessa and Austin were having a strategy chat. Now this is before the second HOH of the night, and Vanessa is putting in the work. She wants Austin to throw this HOH competition. So she's telling him, oh, like, you are not in a position where you need to win this week. Steve and Johnny Mac would be targeting the twins, so like you're totally fine. Just let it happen. I'll make sure you're safe. And she's trying to explain to him, like, this would be good for his game to get rid of one of the twins this week so that he's no longer in this hugely targeted trio. So Austin's like, yeah, I'm really nervous about it though. I still feel like I need to win this. It's too risky to throw it at this point in the game. So then Austin is saying what he would do if he won HOH, and he says that he would put up Steve and Johnny Mac, and Johnny Mac would be the target. So moving forward, he still wants to work with the Scamper Squad until the final five. But even though he's saying he wants to win it, he's like, if it came down to, say, me and Julia, I would throw it to Julia and let her be the HOH so I wouldn't have to split them up. Oh, snap. So then Vanessa, she's got more work to do. She has separate chats with Steve and Johnny Mac, and she's telling them, you need to go to Austin and reassure him that you're going to go after the twins and not him. Because if he feels safe, there's more of a chance that he's going to throw it, or at least not fight as hard for the HOH. So she tells them, like, go do your work. So then Steve finds himself alone in the comic room, and he starts talking to the cameras, and he calls the twins idiots for keeping John safe during the double eviction, for evicting James over John. He's like, that was a stupid move, Nolans, you're idiots. But he's like, well, I'll use it to my advantage, so thank you. Okay, Johnny Mac did as he was told. He went and talked to Austin, and he was like, look, man, I'm not putting you up. So Austin's like, oh, thanks, man, but I don't know, I'm nervous, I'm in a bad position, blah, blah, blah. Alright, it's time for the second HOH competition of the night. It was some sort of puzzle. It appears to have been a baseball theme. That's all I really know about it. I don't know. But the winner was Steve. So Steve is the new HOH. So when the feeds came back, Vanessa was celebrating with Steve, and then just a few minutes later when she was with the Oz twins, she was like, oh, I can't believe I lost that. She was all upset. It was kind of funny. Yeah, so then Austin and Liz chatted briefly in the bathroom area, and Austin is like, yeah, so I think you and your sister there's a good chance you're going to be up on the block this week. And Liz is like, well, what about you? And Austin's like, it wouldn't make sense for Steve to put me up, like, numbers-wise. What? Why not? What? But he seems pretty confident that he's not going to be going up on the block. So then Liz relays this to Julia, and she's pissed. She's not happy with Austin. So they agree. They need to talk to Steve separately. They both want to go up there, have a little game chat, and see if, they can work something out. Are they going to sell out Austin? Should be interesting. So, I mean, I know a lot of people, myself included, are upset that, like, pretty much all of the good, when I say good, I mean, like, entertaining and, like, rootable for people are gone, except for Johnny Mac. So, like, that sucks. But at the same time, it's going to be kind of fun to watch these people turn on each other. Scamper Squad. So then Liz gets her HOH basket. She gets another letter from her mom. And Julia gets, like, really emotional. She misses her mom. She hasn't won HOH and gotten a letter yet. And in the letter, her mom called Liz the perfect daughter. So I think that kind of, like, whoa, struck a chord. And she was just like, well, what about me? Am I perfect? So, yeah. A little while later, at midnight, Julia and Johnny Mac got to eat real food again, thus ending have-nots for the season. That's it, guys. So then, Vanessa and Johnny Mac were discussing Steve's nominations this week. So, I mean, obviously they want to go after the Oz twins, but who's it going to be? Who's the target? Who's going up on the block? What's the deal? So, Vanessa is like, the best play would be to keep the weakest of the Oz twins off the block, because that person, Julia, is least likely to win the power veto and save one of them. So Vanessa is saying Steve should nominate Liz and Austin, and then if one of them wins the veto, Julia will be the replacement nominee. And Vanessa's thinking, and if Julia does win the power veto and takes Liz off, then Johnny Mac will go up. Would he? I don't know if Steve would put Johnny Mac up over Vanessa. I'm thinking no. But anyway, then Austin and Steve were having a game chat, and Austin is trying so hard to stay off the block right now. He brings up targeting Johnny Mac. He's like, yeah, let's keep Scamper Squad together till the final 5. We can do this. And Steve is just like, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole in the Scamper Squad, so not really my best move. And Austin's like, well, you're not at the bottom of my totem pole. That sounds so dirty. So Austin is like, if you put up both of the twins, I'm worried one of them's going to win the veto, they're going to come off the block, and I'm going to be the replacement and go home against them. And Steve is just like, what? No way. So Austin is like, let's come up with a deal here. Like, if you keep me off the block, I can convince the remaining twin to keep you off the block next week if she wins HOH. So Austin is really angling here for Julia to be the one to go home. He's like, I can control Liz, I can make sure she keeps you safe, blah, blah, blah. And Steve's like, I'll have to think about it. But he lets Austin know, like, he doesn't want him to go home this week. So then Vanessa, it's time for her to set I can't talk tonight. It's time for her to set Steve straight tonight. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so she's like, you cannot put up both twins at the same time. That's not going to work. It's just not good. So she explains why it has to be Austin and Liz. It's the same thing she was talking about with Johnny Mac. You got to keep the weak one off the block, Julia. So she also says, like, Steve, don't worry if Julia wins the power veto, because I think I can convince her not to use it. Really? You really think that Julia is going to not save her sister if she wins the power veto? Get out of here. So then it was finally time for Steve's HOH room reveal. It was like 2-something in the morning. He got a letter from his dad. He got a picture of his baby nephew, very cute, some snacks, and his teddy bear. Alright, so now that Steve has his HOH room, it's time to get down to business. Steve and Johnny Mac talking some game, and Steve is all like, what do I do? It sounds like a new Justin Bieber song. What do I do? But anyway, Johnny Mac tells him, look, you should nominate Austin and Liz, and we'll decide later in the week who we want to get rid of. So there's no official target. But then they're thinking, like, you know, maybe it would be best to evict Austin this week because he's pretty close to Vanessa. They're worried that Vanessa would go off and work with Austin instead of them. So they're thinking maybe it would be a good move, and then we could cut some kind of deal with the twins or something. I don't know. But they want to keep an open mind about it. I don't know if Vanessa's going to be too thrilled with that. But Steve was like freaking people out last night because he just wanted to go to sleep. Everybody else wanted to like talk game with him and make sure they weren't going up on the block, but he was just like, I need to sleep. So he was like being really unresponsive in strategy talks, and it was just like weird. But this morning, he let Austin and Liz know, y'all are going up on the block, and they were not happy. Mostly Liz. Austin was kind of like, okay, because he thinks he's safe. But Liz was pissed. So there was a lot of trash talk there between Liz and Julia. But they're also wondering, like, did we make a mistake last week? Should we have gotten rid of Steve or Johnny Mac instead of James? Coulda, woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay, but Steve let Austin know, like, don't worry, man, you got the votes to stay. Does he? So yeah, the twins were whining together. Liz was telling Julia, you have to win the veto this week more than ever. It's just the two of us at this point. Austin's Angels, over. Scamper Squad, over. They just need to protect each other. So they're also realizing, like, whoa, we did Vanessa's dirty work last week by taking out James. That was really dumb. It was, I have to agree. So nominations were today, and as expected, Austin and Liz were nominated. It's just funny because as expected is like Austin's phrase. But anyway, yeah, Austin and Liz are up on the block. They should be doing the power veto competition tomorrow. I don't know. Do you think Julia's going to be able to pull it off? It would be kind of interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, no, let's just get rid of Austin or something. I don't know. But let me know what you guys want to happen in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.